Today we're going to look at the ES1000s and how to change the bulbs out, the heating bulb on the ES1000. But first of all, on the remote, when you get this thing, if your remote's not working, there's a plastic tab in the bottom of that remote. If you make sure you pull that plastic tab, the remote will not work until that plastic tab is out. That's from the factory to keep your battery from running down before you get it. So if you do have trouble with your remote, please check that first. Now if you'll take your ES3000 and turn it around to the back, first of all make sure that it is unplugged. You do not want to be working on it with it plugged up. At the very top of that, on the back side of your box, there will be two screws at the very top. It has a clip on it. You need to take that clip off. Once that clip is off, if you'll turn it all the way over and place it on its top with the wheels standing up, there will be 4 screws at the top that are right beside of your wheels. There are gold screws. As you can see there, he's pointing to one of them. You can't really see it, but you'll see it on that thing. Take those 4 gold screws out. Now once you have all those gold screws out, you can actually pull on your unit, the whole unit, and the inside will pull out of the case. Now once you have that out of the case, you're going to look on the sides, on the left and the right side. Now if it faces you, the controls were to face you, like he just turned it right there, that's your controls facing you. Now on the left and right side, you need to take both of those panels off. Now there's a bunch of screws on the back. Turn it on, there you go. There's a bunch of screws there. You see all those black screws that he's pointing at. Those have to come out. So if you'll take your drill or a screwdriver and just take those out one by one on both sides so that you'll be able to get to your heating element. Sometimes those things are a little, feel like they're stripped, but if you will take you a simple screwdriver, a straight in screwdriver, and push behind the screw, it'll pop right out. Now once both side panels are off, as you can see here, you got the left side off, and he'll turn it around and show you that the right side is now off. There on it'd be on your left side there, you'll see those red wires that he's pointing to there. What you want to do is take you some wire cutters and cut those wires off right up against that wire nut that's there. Once you have those cut, if you'll turn it around to the right side, you'll see that white thing there, white wire there. You're going to pull the plug on that white wire. They are a little sticky sometimes, but that's to make good connection so that we make sure that it's not arcing or having problems. Now, once you get that white wire off there, you'll see 2 screws right beside of the white thing where he's pointing there. You need to take those 2 screws out. Then your ceramic holder will come out. Once you have those 2 screws out, you will actually pull that white ceramic piece out, just like that. Now if you'll turn it back around to the other side, then grab that wire and then turn it back around to where you can get to the bulb on the other side. The reason you do that is so you can reach the bulb. If you'll grab that bulb right there and just simply pull out, the old bulb will come out. And then you will get your new bulb that we've actually sent you. Now when we send it to you, it's going to be wrapped up in this plastic just like we see here. And then when you get your new bulb, the main thing to do is try not to put your fingers on the glass part, because the oil off your skin will actually work on the bulb. Now, if you'll point your wire straight like he just did right there and stick it back in and get that wire going through the hole in the back side, just as he done there, that thing will actually line up on that hole. Now, by holding the other side, go ahead and get you a wire nut. Wire those two wires together. Now you'll need a good wire nut. Make sure you got a good wire and it's good and tight and the connections are good. Then actually turn it back around to you. Take your ceramic end. Now it's going to fit right against, it only goes in one way, and it'll fit right against that bulb. Once it fits against the bulb and you get it in there, sometimes they're a little tight, but they have to be that way. You'll take that, line it up. Now take your screw. Now once you get your screw, you'll just actually put it back in, the same ones you took out. Once you get the first one in, the second one's not as hard. Okay, once you get the first screw in, go ahead and put the second one in. This will tighten everything up. Then take your white wire and put it back on the end there. Make sure it's tight. Goes on good. Now turn it back around. Check your wire nut again. Make sure it's tight. If your wires are tight, and take you some electrical tape and tape around that wire nut and them wires. That just ensures that that wire nut does not come off or get loose. After you do this, you're ready to put your sides back on. Take your first side and line it up. Make sure all your holes line up. Should only line up one way. Put your screw in. These screws are little, so sometimes they're a little rough to get started. Once you get one in, I like to put one in each corner, and then you can go to town and put them in without any problems. Now once you get both sides put on and all your screws back in, we'll be ready to put it in the case. Okay, when we get both sides on, then we're ready to slide it back into the cabinet. When you slide it back into the cabinet, make sure that that thing on the front of it, you're going to see little holes at the top. That's where your heat actually comes out. That thing has to be upside down when it slides into that case so that everything lines back up. Once you get that thing slid in your case, take those 4 gold screws the side of your wheels and go ahead and put them back in. What you want to do is get one of them, get them all started before you actually tighten it down. That way it makes it easier on you when you go to tighten everything down. Now once you get all those 4 of those started, go ahead and take your drill, or if you want to do it by screwdriver you can. Tighten all those gold screws back down. This actually bolts the unit to the case. Then take your little clip, point it back down. You'll see how it goes up under the thing. Lines up just like that. Then put your 2 screws back in your clip. Now turn your unit back over on its wheels. It does have a trip switch on it, so it will not work if it's not upright. The trip switch is down on the bottom there. You'll see that, and it has to be upright before to work. Then you can go ahead and plug your unit in, and we will fire it up. First thing to do is make sure the power button on the back, that orange button, is on. I know that sounds simple, but there's a lot of people who forget to do that. Turn your unit back around, hit your power button. I like to run it after you change the bulb, run it all the heat all the way up. Run it all the way up so that it'll burn the bulb in good. In just a minute you'll see the bulb that starts to glow. The heater will kick on, the blower will kick on, and you can set it to back whatever you want. And you have successfully changed the heating bulb out in an ES1000.